Hi everybody, welcome to Bette's Makes. Today is the last day for our Advent Tag celebration, and we are going to get into it and design and make our Advent Tag number 24. Hi everybody, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into Design Space and we're going to make a new canvas. We are going to go into our Shapes menu and grab a square. So we're going to adjust the color here and make this green, and we're going to change the dimensions of our tag. We're going to make it 3 by 5. So once we have that, we are going to just set it in a position that makes it easier to line up our triangles and to cut out the shape we need for the tag. So I'm just going to use this triangle here, and I'm going to adjust the size to have the right kind of angle that I want for the tag here, and that looks about good. I'm going to just make the width of this triangle to be 2 and around 1, and we're just going to line it up to the top here. We're going to check the position and make sure that it's at the proper position. That looks good. And then we're going to duplicate it. Once I just align it a little bit, we're going to duplicate this. And we're going to put the triangle on the other side of the tag and make sure that it's all lined up. We're going to check the position and make sure that it's the same. Then we're going to select both the triangles, go to Combine and Weld. And then we're going to select the triangles and our square, and we're going to slice. So now we have a nice little tag. We're going to delete that slice results. We don't need it. We're going to set the position again, and then we are going to grab a circle, and we're just going to put it on the top of the tag here. Just set it to where you need it or you want it. We're going to just make sure the size is 0.25 by 0.25. Select both of those, align, center horizontally. Select them both again and slice. So now we have our tag here with a hole cut out at the top. And then we're just going to duplicate this shape. Then we're going to align it up. We're going to make sure that its position is at 14. And that looks good. So we're going to take both those shapes, go to Combine and Weld. And then we're going to go into our Shapes menu and grab a score line. And we're going to put the score line right at 14 here, just so it lines up. And then we're just going to adjust the size to make sure it goes all the way down and it can get scored. There we go. And that's it. So now we're going to select all those things, attach. We're going to save it. We're going to make it. And I will meet you over at the demo table. All right, so here we are at the demo table, and I have our cardstock all cut out and folded. I've got a bunch of ephemera here that I'm going to be using. All of this ephemera you can find in our digital kits if you want to use them. If not, any kind of Christmas ephemera will do. I have a little piece that says Merry Christmas on it. All I did was go into Canva and just used one of their pretty fonts, wrote Merry Christmas, and then just put one of our digital papers as the background. Easy step there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ink around the tag. I'm going to ink around the inside, the outside, and all the edges. All right, once I've done that, I have a pile of ephemera here that I want to add onto the front of the tag. So I'm just kind of placing them down without gluing them down first, just trying to see where I want them placed. And once I'm happy with their position, I'm just going to ink around the edges of the ephemera, and then I'm going to glue it down. Now, once I've done that, I'm just going to grab my scissors and just cut off the edge of that one piece there. And then I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to add my decorations. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my glitter pen and I'm going to make little dots and little stars all around the edge of the tag here, just to make it look a little more magical. And so you can see me doing that now. Alright, so I'm satisfied with the way that looks. It kind of pops out to me, and now we're going to work on the centerpiece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my image right in the center. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to fold it, and then I'm going to have to glue it in. So once it's folded, then I can have it better open and close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue one side down first, and then I'm going to glue the other side down. Alright, I have it glued down. I'm going to take my craft knife and I'm just going to split it down the center a little bit, just to relieve a bit of the pressure, but that's alright because it gives it more of a vintagey feel, and when it cracks open, it feels like somebody had a piece of vintage card there that split down the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit of my distressed ink on this section to make it feel like it's like a brittle piece of paper and it had been split and people are touching it. And I really like the way it turned out. All right, now that that's done, we're going to play with all of the other pieces of ephemera that we have around here. I've noticed that my Merry Christmas is really bright, so I may or may not ink that up, and I think I'm going to. So I'm going to ink around the edges first, and then I'm going to probably just run a bit of ink lightly over the words, just so that it's a muted color rather than so bright. So I'm just going to lay that down and then just kind of daub and brush around. And then it just makes it pop a little more, makes it feel a little more distressed. And I think it goes better with the overall card. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue this in place one side at a time. And then I'll fast forward this bit. All right, so now that we have that, we get to play around with all of our other ephemera. So I've already glued this down, and I'm probably going to rip it if I peel it up too much, but I'm just going to peel up the corners a little bit on either side. Hopefully I get to it soon enough, and it looks like I have. And I'm just going to glue my presents down just under the corners there. There we go. And I like how that looks, and I'm going to do the same with the other present on the other side. And because I peeled those corners up, I'm going to have to glue those corners back down. And there we have a bit of some presents there at the end. It looks really good. and I'm going to trim those presents off with a pair of scissors. I'm just folding that one piece back to see if I like the way it looks. I do, so I'm just going to trim those off. All right, so once that's all trimmed up, we have a couple of bows here. I'm just going to ink it a little bit. I just noticed that there's some white showing. So we're going to do the bows next, and we're just going to figure out where we want to put the bows. I think they look nice up there, so we're just going to glue them down. And I purposely went with opposite colors on each tag. If you notice, there's the green present in the red bow and a red present in a green bow, and I think that looks very delightful. So there we go. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my gold glitter pen, and I'm just going to add little embellishments around Merry Christmas. I might just color that in all the way. And then I'm going to make little stars and dots all around the tag. All right, now our advent tag number 24 is finished for the night, which is awesome. That was our advent celebration. Doesn't it look pretty? All right, we're going to put this in the book, but the video isn't going to end yet because now we have to finish the actual advent book holder. So we're going to put this in. I'm going to slide it under that belly band and then into the tuck there. And then we're going to fold it all up. And we're going to finish the advent with some ribbon, I think. What I'm doing here is I'm just going through the ephemera seeing if I want to decorate these other pages. And in the end, I decided that I don't want to decorate those pages. I like them the way they are. And really, it's up to you if you want to decorate the rest of the book. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fold it all up. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to find some ribbon. All right, so here's my ribbon box, and we're just going to go through here and we're going to look to see if we can find any ribbon that will go with this advent book. Now I have that snowflake ribbon that I must have gotten off of a present somewhere. And we've got a really shiny blue ribbon, and I think those go good together and it matches the cover. So we're going to be using that ribbon just to finish up our advent book here. So all we're really going to do is we're going to take a blue piece of ribbon the same size as our red piece of ribbon, and then we're just going to tie it around the box, or tie it around the advent book like a giant belly band. So what I'm doing here is I'm just doubling up on the ribbon because I think it would look better with 2 strips of blue and 1 fat piece of red. So I'm just measuring it out quickly with my hands, and then I'm just going to cut the end off there. Move the blue piece of ribbon out of the way, grab our red piece of ribbon, and just line it all up. I'm just going to give it a scrunch, and then I'm going to put it behind the advent book there, and then I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm just going to give it a tie on the side. And then I'll never have to undo the bow if I do it not super tight, but just tight but not loose. And I'll be able to slip it on and off. So I'm just going to give it a little tie there. There we go. And that's it. Thank you for joining me on our Advent celebration. I had so much fun with everybody making this book and making all the tags. I cannot wait to see you the next video that comes out. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas and happy holidays and a wonderful new year. Have a wonderful day, happy crafting, and happy holidays.